Let's take a look now at the Los Angeles Chargers mock draft. Now, this comes from Ian's latest 7-round mock draft published at ProFootballNetwork.com here. And let's talk about this. The Los Angeles Chargers right now, they are going all in while Justin Herbert is on his rookie contract. You know what? What better way to amplify him being on his rookie contract, taking care of Mike Williams, still having Keenan Allen on board, but the need for a number 3 receiver is there. However, the selection here may not play exactly in 2022, but it's someone to keep an eye on here, and that's Jameson Williams, wide receiver out of Alabama, goes to them at round 1, pick number 17. Tell us a little bit more about this pick here for the Los Angeles Chargers and Herbert fully loaded.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about a player-team match that has stratospheric upside. This is that match. I mean, Jameson Williams is a very fun player. I mean, not just the speed. Obviously, the speed is an elite trait that he has watching the tape, being able to, even people say that he's an elite deep threat, and that's true, but the speed also provides value in the short and intermediate ranges, get him the ball on those drag routes, and he can explode upfield in an instant, and just an elite creator, can destroy tackling angles. That speed is a vital part of his game, but he can be a complete receiver on top of that. I look at Keenan Allen, who can separate at every level. Mike Williams, more of that contested threat down the sideline with his size. I think Jameson Williams, with his speed to really dice through every level, can really complete this wide receiver unit, and catching passes from Justin Herbert down the field, who's got a rocket arm and can get the ball there in 2 seconds. I love that fit even more. So once he's healthy, if you're looking for a way to discombobulate defenses, that's the way to go, getting that speed in there and just inserting him with all those weapons. It's a really fun match in my mind.
Because the AFC West didn't have enough weapons out there, we decided, hey, let's throw Jameson Williams, who would have probably been the number 1 pick if he didn't have number 1 wide receiver off the board, I should say, if he didn't have the ACL injury. Like, that's just an embarrassment of riches, and honestly, one I'm just really here for as a fan. I just want to watch that happen. Honestly, look, we talk about the receivers. That's one of the big part of the game, but you got to be able to protect your quarterback at the same time. The Chargers made a big effort to try to do that last year, picking up Rashawn Slater, bringing in some other guys. Matt Filer is a guy we could see kind of move over potentially to right tackle to replace the loss of Brian Bulaga, and you actually had them going with another offensive lineman this year, potentially kind of signaling that move here in round 3, pick 79, with Cole Strange out of Chattanooga. Is this kind of like signaling where, hey, yeah, we could see one guy moving over and then bring in Cole Strange to play like that guard position that could be vacant now?
Yeah, I think you look at the guard position, you got Matt Filer, who, like you said, could move over, and then you have Brendan James on the other side right there. So I think the Chargers filled a lot of needs in free agency, but offensive guard was one that kind of got left up in the air. So I think if you're the Chargers, obviously don't have that 2nd-round pick anymore after trading for Khalil Mack, but if there's a guy there in round 3, I think that's a very good addition to make, and I think there are quite a few guys in that round 3 range that could be good value there. You look at Georgia, both offensive guards from Georgia, Jamari Salyer, Justin Schaefer, Lasita Smith is another potential option, but I look at Cole Strange, and I think the defining characteristic for him is the athletic upside. I mean, if you saw his combine performance and, even the Senior Bowl too, I feel like that was a precursor to the combine, but he really showed out there coming from Chattanooga, an FCS program. He proved he belonged. Now, the thing that I really liked about his performance is that he had some bad reps, but he rebounded. He always came back from them and improved over the course of each practice every day through the week. And I do like the athletic traits as well. Coming to the NFL Combine, measuring at 6'5", 307, 33-inch arms, ran a 5.03, had 31 bench reps. So very strong individual with a 10-foot broad jump, 28-inch vert. He had a 9.96 RAS, relative athletic score. So close to the top athlete at the guard position. A lot of traits to work with there. And I think if you're the Chargers, banking on that athleticism, it's something that really pulled through for you in year 1 with Rashawn Slater. I think on the inside, having Cole Strange, who has that ability, that athletic ability, but also is a physical guy, a resilient blocker, who doesn't let the violent, constricted nature of the interior play get to his head. I really love that about this guy, and I think that the sky is the limit for him.
Well, in round 4, too, after getting some Strange from Chattanooga, the Los Angeles Chargers, they go out and they get some cornerback help with the addition of Chase Lucas, cornerback out of Arizona State. Now, for the Los Angeles Chargers, you look at their cornerback depth in free agency, making the big splash for J.C. Jackson, who will more than likely follow whatever opposing team's number 1 wide receiver is. However, there's some questions about Asante Samuel Jr. He sustained 2 concussions last season during his rookie year. That's going to be something to monitor. And then you have Michael Davis. For them, adding more cornerback help is important because as of the time of recording this, they never re-signed Chris Harris Jr. by the time we recorded this episode, and it probably releases on YouTube. I think that's something to keep an eye on, though. But for him, he can be a guy that comes in and learns and is a depth contributor, not to mention a guy who plays on special teams right away.
Yeah, Chase Lucas, I think, is one of the more underrated corners in this class. I think he ultimately goes early day 3. but his NFL Combine testing numbers kind of opened my eyes to this guy. 5'11", 180, a little bit lighter, but around 32-inch arms, so very good proportional length. Ran a 4.48, had 39-inch vertical and a 128 broad. So you never want to run with these numbers and just say he's explosive off of that. But what these numbers can help you do is if one stands out to you, you circle back to the tape and say, do the numbers add up? Does it kind of show up on tape? And for Chase Lucas, it definitely does. He's very explosive coming off his breaks. He's really fluid flipping his hips. I love the closing speed, especially on those in-breaking routes, can get inside leverage and make plays on the ball, has good ball skills, very competitive player. Again, the lighter frame, not the best play strength, and I do think he can improve his technique a little bit, but he's competitive, he's chippy. And you hear about, his impact on Arizona State's football program. He was a valued defensive leader for a long time in that unit. And I think that having that, competitive edge for him on top of the physical traits can really help him make an impact at the next level. I don't know if he'll be a long-term starter, but I do think banking on the traits and the chippy competitive nature of his game, is a good investment for the Chargers. You don't have the early round capital to get one of the early round corners, but Chase Lucas is a guy who has the athleticism and the attitude, the alpha attitude mentality that you want at the cornerback position. If you can take him round 4, then I think it's a really good buy low with high upside potential there.
Yeah, while the Chargers don't have a ton of opening picks, they have a bunch in the back half of the draft here on day 2 and day 3. Sitting here in round 5, pick 160 with Haskell Garrett, defensive tackle out of Ohio State. Then in round 6, 195, Jeremiah Grammel, the linebacker out of North Carolina. Then at 212 in round 6, Isaiah Pacheco, running back out of Rutgers, getting Austin Eckler, a little more depth back there in the running back position. And they have 4 7th-round picks this year. At 236 with Christian Benford, the cornerback out of Villanova. At 254, Javion Hiley, the wide receiver from Coastal Carolina. At 255, Michael Griffin, the safety from South Dakota State. And rounding things off at 260, Amari Barrow, the edge out of Virginia Tech.
2 picks I really like in that batch. You got Christian Benford from Villanova, very productive, very athletic. He tested extremely well at his pro day. And then Isaiah Pacheco as well, ran 4.37 at the NFL Combine, very dense frame. I love the way he runs. 2 guys that could outplay their value there.
Ooh, so Chargers fans, what do you think of Ian Cummings' latest 7th-round mock draft conducted at ProFootballNetwork.com? If you're a Chargers fan, drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure you smash that like button as well here on YouTube for all things mock draft consideration.